Hi, and welcome to my class on how to do a class. First thing, coffee. So my wife is still asleep. Still quite early. So I'm going to go do my classes in my little secret room. Let me just turn on the light. There we go. What's up? Welcome to Dee's Box. So I think something very important to think about when you are making videos is to, get creative, have fun. Because if you're going to be doing a lot of them, you're going to want to try to find interesting ways of keeping yourself busy as well. Because the more entertaining you are, the more entertained the students are, which means the more they will retain knowledge. Yeah, so something that you really want to consider when you're making your videos is to, especially as a creative school, you want to So one of my suggestions is to be creative. Just be creative in your videos because it will help keep you sane and it will entertain the students, which means they'll want to come back for more. They'll find it enjoyable, which is something that we want. We want to retain students. Yeah. Now I'm going to show you what everything actually looks like. Ta-da! This is the setup for, just for me, because I teach a creative subject, so I want to keep my students entertained, which is also why I try to be creative about what I'm doing. So then after that, we actually get into how we're going to do this lesson. So here we go. Here is a lesson outcome for our weekly outcome. So that's what I have to address. So what I've done is I have written them all out. So for this lesson, because I've done lesson 1, I'm going to be doing lesson 2. So I've got the whole premise, 2. So there I know what I'm going to be talking about. So yeah, obviously not everyone's going to have access to lots of boxes and weird art and stuff. But, you can always do what you can. If you can be doing the videos, just do what you can. No, I can't say that, hey, can I? So then you just try to be as creative as you can, especially within your fields. So say if you're doing makeup, do your lesson with makeup on. Do, different faces and stuff maybe. Because you want to keep the students' attention. And, we are creative people, so I think and I believe that, being creative in what we do, no matter what we do, will help. Sorry, my cat is playing by my TV. It's really freaking me out. As you can see, I've pretty much planned out my lessons, terminology and procedures. So I don't know, my suggestion, I'm going to test this, you're going to be with me as we do this, but you know enough about it already. And with this process of doing it, you can easily, just talk and take whatever you want. So instead of having to worry about having to do redos every time you make a small mistake, you can just start over. So there's the kind of stuff that I need to talk about. So terminology and procedures, frames and angles. I can talk about how what a low angle does, what a high angle does, its effects on the viewer. Can talk about the different frames. I can talk about, I just wanted to add a bit more comedy and a bit more, I don't know, some funny stuff into this because, I'm teaching for acting for camera. So it would be assumed that I would be dramatic and an actor. Visualize techniques with framing. So that means now what I do is I will, use framing while I'm recording the class. Be like, okay, this is an extreme close-up. And then you get a normal close-up. You have to act for the different kinds of frames because when you're acting like this with just your eyes, you're using your face a lot more. If it's a normal close-up, maybe it's just to get more facial expression. Then you get your mid-shot where you can, talk as if you're having a conversation with someone else. Yes, that's an interesting point. If you're using a DSLR or something else, something to always keep in mind is to make sure your batteries are charged. So yeah, I would suggest that you plug your batteries in every night before you go to bed, so then make sure that they're charged. Back into the office. Next thing that comes down to is once you've recorded your videos, you've got all your stuff, even if you're using your phone, phones are cool. You can do amazing stuff with the phones we have these days. Use whatever you have available to you. find everything that you can. There's so much free stuff out there. There's lots of open source software. There's really cool stuff. So I'm going to show you like one or two that I've found now recently. Yeah. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be using a software called, so this is something you can get. It's called Screen Recorder. This records everything, so you can use this for show PowerPoints and all that kind of stuff. So the thing I'm using is called OpenShot. Right, so as you can see, I've loaded all the videos that I've recorded this morning so far for how to make a video, and now we're going to go through them. Right, so what I've done is I've taken all the pieces, I've cut out all the mistakes that I don't need, I've put them in here, as you can see, because that's what you all just saw from the beginning. When it comes to this thing in the editors, you can find which one works for you. There's a lot of them, but whatever works for you. I mean, if you're doing animation, if you're doing other stuff like that, you can use your own resources. You can, create animations to deliver your classes. You don't have to stick to the boring. So really, when it comes to what you do for your classes, that's up to you. I'm just showing kind of basics. If you have other software that you can use or other stuff that you want to use, go for it, as long as the videos get delivered. As long as we have something that we can deliver to the students that's both entertaining and educational, because we are a media school, we are creative, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So when it comes to doing your online classes, premise is pretty much up to you, as long as the content gets delivered and in an educational, professional, and creative way. So I hope this helped. If anyone else has any questions, please ask away, because now I'm going to go and switch back to live Damien.